People love lists, Max.
They do love lists.
They love lists. And so I'm trying to come up with a new list
every
week on TexasFootball.com.
Oh, man.
And I've got one going up today. And I think it's going to
turn some heads.
Get a little hairy.
Yes.
It is the top 10 most overrated Texas college football teams.
Oh, boy.
Now, there's a key thing. There's a key word in that sentence.
Yes.
That delineates this from others.
Sure.
I did not say program.
Right.
I said teams.
Teams.
So we're talking
year by year.
Specific years.
Yeah.
And we're going off of what I took into account was where they were ranked in the preseason, where they began in the AP poll, ranked in the preseason.
Yep.
And so there were a variety of teams that I looked at. I basically narrowed it down to the top 12. So if you're in the top half of the top 25.
So it was 16, I think, when I did a blind vote for you?
Yeah.
And you went down to 12.
No. I'm saying that I kept it within if you were ranked 1 through 12.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna have the top 10 plus. Yeah, you're right, 16. So we're gonna have 6 honorable mentions.
Okay. All right.
And we looked at where they were ranked in the preseason, and then where they finished.
Yeah.
And to decide who was the most overrated. Because that's the thing. I think that we have kind of co-opted the word overrated.
Yeah.
That it doesn't mean what it used to mean. It means that you were once rated highly and you did not live up to that rating.
Right.
And you are it's clear that rating was wrong and that it was too high.
It's not, what it's become is you suck.
Yes.
But that's not what it means.
That's not what it means
It
at
doesn't
all.
mean you suck.
No.
It just means you were overrated.
Yeah, you were rated above where you should have been.
Right.
And so we took a look at what I think are the top 10 most overrated teams in Texas college football history.
But, of course, we don't have enough time to talk about all of them on today's show.
So we're just going to spoil the top 3 for our viewers of TCTF Live because we love you. Okay. Number 3 is the team that everybody watching probably remembers.
Oh, yeah.
The 2010 Texas Longhorns.
Right.
It's the number 3. People forget, and partially because they played for a title in 2009. Technically, it was 2010, but 2009, 2010.
Right.
They played and they lost to Alabama in the game where Colt McCoy broke his collarbone.
Was that what he did?
Separated his shoulder.
Separated his shoulder,
yeah.
Did something to the nerve.
Got landed on. They began 2010 super high expectations.
Yes.
Number 5 in the nation.
Yeah.
Texas began the year number 5 because they thought, okay, here comes Garrett Gilbert.
Yep.
He's now got a little bit of seasoning. He got to play in the Rose Bowl game.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff.
Yeah, didn't completely fall apart in the national championship game. They were one drive away.
And then thud.
Oy.
And this team was just not very good.
Yeah.
Simply put, the offense never came around. They ended up finishing 5-7, dead last in the Big 12 South.
Right.
And it's not just that they finished dead last.
Yeah.
It's not just that.
No.
But it's the ways it's the teams they lost to and the ways they lost.
Yeah.
They lost at Kansas State, who finished 7-6. They lost at home to Iowa State, who finished 5-7.
Oy.
I mean, yes, they lost.
I was there for that one. My dad was very excited about that game.
Keep in mind now what. But the most bizarre thing about it.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of, I think, understandable losses. They lost to A&M, who was ranked 17th. They lost to Oklahoma State, who was 12th. They lost to Baylor, who was 25th at the time, although that was at home. They lost to Oklahoma.
Right.
Okay, no harm there.
Right.
Do you remember? They went to Nebraska and beat number 5 Nebraska.
That's right. That was like a big hey, maybe if they just pound the run game, Garrett doesn't have to do everything himself. Oh, they'll be okay at that point. They'll be all right.
Yeah. They held down T-Magic, Taylor Martinez, remember him? But it was a bizarre season for them that ends up being our number 3 most overrated team in Texas college football history. Number 2 is an interesting case. I went with the 1985 SMU Mustangs. So SMU began the year number 3.
Right.
Okay? This was a team that had just all sorts of crazy playmakers. They were a juggernaut, and coming off of coming off of a team that was expected to do big things. This was supposed to be one of the best teams in the nation, number 3 in the nation. Now, there is, of course, the little matter of, they had Reggie Dupard, they had a ton of great players. There was a little matter of the death penalty. The death penalty came down in August of 1985. And from there, it was just kind of kerthump for them. They win their first 2, but then they lose at Arizona. They lose to Baylor. They lose at A&M by 2. They lose at Arkansas. They lose at Oklahoma. Overall, I don't think this was a terrible team, but the problem was that they had such high expectations.
Right.
And they just simply couldn't live up to it. Now, whether that has something to do with the mental side of it because of the looming sanctions, because of the death penalty coming down. Overall, though, 1985 SMU, it's got to go down. Overrated is maybe the wrong word, but most disappointing.
Yes.
Because this was a team that was supposed to contend for and perhaps win a national championship.
Right. They had all the momentum in the world, from the previous years, but I think most people would probably point to all the coaching changes as probably the biggest factor in all this.
Yes. So, that's number 2 on our list. The number 1 most overrated team in Texas college football history.
You went way back for this one.
The 1965 Texas Longhorns. Okay? And the numbers don't necessarily tell the whole tale. This was a team that began the year ranked number 2.
Right.
So it is supposed to be on the very, very short list of teams to win that could win a national title. Okay? And for good reason. Had Tommy Nobis back.
Right.
Tommy Nobis supposed to he is the all everything and still to this day one of the great players in Texas college football history. They had Tommy Nobis. Okay?
Yeah.
He got hurt a little bit down the line. What was that?
That was my ring hitting the microphone.
What did you do?
Calm
Okay.
down.
And things started really well. Okay?
Yeah.
Drubbed Tulane, 31-0.
Yeah.
Beat Texas Tech, 33-7. Things are going great. They rise to number 1 in the nation. Beat Indiana. Fantastic. Beat OU at the Red River Shootout.
So far, so good. This is how the season's supposed to go.
Things are looking great. Okay? And then they get their first hiccup. They lose at number 3 Arkansas. But that was, a big rivalry game. Everyone saw this coming. On the road, they lose by 3. It's a heartbreaking game. You go, okay. Hey,
what are you going to do?
It's a top 3 team on the road. 3-point loss.
These things happen.
Then they lost to Rice. That was one of 2 wins for Rice that year.
Ooh.
The next week, they lost at SMU. And from there, it was a total tailspin. They beat Baylor, then they lose to TCU, who finished 6-5, and they beat A&M at home to finish 6-4. And it's not just for me what set this one apart. It's not just they started the year number 2 and finished 6-4. But it's the teams they lost to.
Yeah.
They lost to a truly dreadful Rice team.
Yeah.
They lost to a really mediocre at best SMU team.
Yeah.
They only beat A&M by 4. This was a team that really, really stumbled down the stretch.
Right.
And they went from a team that 4 weeks in, they're number 1 to stumble to unranked and 6-4. They lose 4 of their last 6 games.
Not great.
I think that the 1965 Texas Longhorns have to be considered the most overrated team in Texas college football history.
Yeah.
We will have the whole list up on TexasFootball.com shortly. What do you think? Let us know. #DCTF Live.